Yesterday, my husband and I were talking about self control issues in marriage. And I wanted to just quickly come and share on here that if you're struggling with pornography, if you're struggling with lust, if you had a tendency of sleeping with different women before marriage, don't think that when you get married, it's going to resolve itself because now you have somebody to have sex with. It doesn't work that way. Welcome back to another amazing episode on Life with Mokes. I'm so glad and super excited to see that people are watching my content. Thank you so much. I do not take it for granted. I appreciate you. If this is your first time, multiple kisses to you. If this is your second time or you're a perpetual viewer, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today I just wanted to quickly share that a lot of people rush into marriages without necessarily dealing with the toxic traits that they've learned. So let's talk about the impact of pornography and lust issues in marriage. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to actually address a lot of uncomfortable topics so that people can be blessed and so that if you're single, you can know to deal with certain issues before you get married. So I'm going to read an article that talks about a data research that was done for the number of people that struggle with pornography. And I just wanted to read a little bit of it so that you see that this is a prevalent issue. All right, so it says 70% of Christian youth pastors report that they've had at least one teen come to them for help in dealing with pornography in the past 12 months. By the way, this article or this research was done by Covenant Eyes and Banner Group. I know about Covenant Eyes a little. I think it's an accountability program for Christians that are struggling with pornography. But then it says 68% of church-going men and over 50% of pastors view porn on a regular basis. It says of young Christian adults, 18 to 24 years old, 76% of them actively search for porn. It says 59% of pastors said that married men seek help for the use of porn. So we see that married men, people who are married, 59% of them, right? 33% of women aged 25 and under search for porn at least once per month. It says only 13% of self-identified Christian women say they've never watched porn. 87% of Christian women have watched porn. Okay, 55% of married men and 25% of married women say that they watch porn at least once a month. And 57% of pastors say porn addiction is the most damaging issue in their congregation. 69% say porn has adversely impacted their church. So from this article, we see that this is such a big issue. I don't know if there's any word that's bigger than big. It's a massive issue, right? It even goes on to say that the average age for a child to be exposed to pornography is 11. And at 14, 94% of children would have watched porn. And this is a study that's based on America, right? But I'm sure, it cuts across like the rest of the world as well. So the notion that when you get married, all of a sudden you're going to not want to watch porn anymore or all your lust issues will be gone is a big lie. Because the truth is that in marriage, you go through different phases. And I'll explain. So for instance, when a woman is pregnant, some women have like very difficult pregnancies, right? And so if you say, oh, because I'm going to be having sex with my wife all the time, or because I'm going to be having sex with my husband all the time, I would never desire porn. What happens when your partner is not able to give you the sex you're looking for? Because this sex safe is not breakfast, it's not lunch, it's not dinner. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not a 3-course meal. Do you get? I mean, some people might be doing it 3 times. So, sorry, rated 18. But I'm saying that that's not how it is, right? There are times where you might actually not have sex as often because things happen, even apart from somebody falling sick. You might be busy. But my example was, I was saying that, let's say your wife has a difficult pregnancy, right? And throughout the duration of her pregnancy, she's throwing up or she has a hyperemesis, for instance. What are you going to do as the man? We now say, okay, oh, my wife is not able to give me, so I'm going to go back to porn. It is such a deep-rooted issue that if you don't work on it before you get married, when you get married, you're going to bring your family into a messy pattern. Apart from that, you are also breeding a new generation. What are you going to pass down to your children? Do you see what I mean? And then the thing about pornography is it takes time for you to reorient your mind, because when you watch porn over and over again, it begins to teach you to objectify human beings, right? There is a narrative of sex that is put in your mind. For example, in porn, a lot of things are exaggerated. Like, they make it seem like every single minute, a woman is getting an orgasm, and every single minute the man is getting an orgasm. And then even the things that they do, they're so demeaning, right? That's why you have all this BDSM and all this nonsense, and this is pumped into your head. And so when you get married to somebody who generally on their own, or they are coming to say, okay, we're starting a new life, let's learn about each other's bodies, let's learn how to satisfy and please each other. You realize that the person who has been addicted to porn, now you have a standard, which is a silly standard, right? It is a very unreasonable standard of what sex should look like. The regular sex would not satisfy you. That's why you see that the person is just always wanting more. You're wanting, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing different styles. Again, this video is rated 18, but I'm saying that you just find out that your partner cannot satisfy you. No matter how much your partner tries, they cannot just satisfy you, because you've exposed yourself to so much damaging information about sex that is now what you use as your benchmark. So when somebody is not tying and beating you and doing all these things, you feel like, well, I'm not getting satisfied. Do you see what I mean? So it alters your brain chemistry. And then, except you have a simulation of what you've seen when you watch pornography, it will be hard for you to get satisfied. And that's one of the many other issues that it can cause in marriage. Obviously, your partner too is going to be going through the, oh my God, what can I do to make this person feel satisfied? What can I do? Am I the problem? Is this person the problem? Another thing it does is that it opens you up to demonic oppressions. People start having all sorts of sexual dreams. When you see somebody walking by the road, you've already undressed her with your eyes. Or if it's a female, you see a guy, you've undressed him with your eyes, and you're objectifying everybody that comes across to you. It almost feels like you don't have any form of self-control, and you give the devil access to not just your life, to your marriage as well. So if you're struggling with pornography and lust issues, you need to deal with it before you get married. If you're single, right, this is the time for you to let the Spirit of God work in you. This is time for you to get help, get accountability, allow the power of God work in you. The Bible says that if you walk in the Spirit, you will not fulfill the desires of your flesh. So walk with God intimately, so that you can begin to drop all those habits, so that when you get married, you are getting married as a whole and complete person, and you are setting the right foundation for yourself and your spouse when it comes to sexual intimacy. Don't take this for granted. I'm telling you, this has caused a lot of marriages to end up in divorce. This has caused a lot of people to get frustrated sexually, because their partners have been exposed to pornography addiction for years and they did not do anything about it. If you're already married, get help. You need accountability. You need to get help. You need to also break free from that addiction, because I've given you multiple reasons why this thing can destroy your life. It can destroy your marriage. It can destroy your family. And also it can open the gates for a generational pattern. So it's not just going to affect you as well. The devil can use these things and start, developing it as a pattern in the life of not just you, but your generations to come. The Bible says we are tempted of our own desires. It is your responsibility as a believer to take a hold of your life and say, I refuse to walk in this addiction. I refuse to walk in this sin, because Jesus has won the victory. If you need counseling, therapy, whatever you need, please make sure you do this. Don't wait till you get married. Don't start the foundation of your home on a very shaky ground. Please, 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 please. Thank you, and God bless. If you stay till the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you've been able to learn one or two. This video is very important. I know it might be uncomfortable to hear. It was also kind of uncomfortable for me to talk about, but we need to talk about it as a body. So this is specifically for believers. I mean, you can share it to everyone, but if you're a believer, make sure you are sharing this to everyone, because not everyone's going to come out and say, I'm struggling with pornography. No, but share it so that the person that needs to see this or hear this will hear this. And I pray that the Lord will just open your eyes to see that He has given you victory over sin and show you the ways to walk out victorious and overcome in Jesus' mighty name. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.